All right, I was gonna, whoops, cancel. Let's save this. Just show you how I do some research. So this is Redwood Swap Meet, which is off of 3800 South Redwood Road in Taylorsville. I think it's considered Taylorsville. You can see how I mapped the last time I was there, which I believe was last Sunday. I parked here, walked out, walked back. This is where I found some coins along this wall. There's a fence and just some buildings on the other side. And so Redwood Swap Meet, it was actually the Redwood Drive-In, and then they turned it into a swap meet slash drive-in. So this was your entrance, and so there was 4 lanes that could come in here. You had these little buildings. You come in, you tell them how many people in your car, whatever. You come in. This is obviously a swap meet day, the satellite imagery, because you can see all the tents and stuff set up. So I came in, didn't find anything. They've ripped up all the blacktop, but this was undisturbed right along here. And that's where I found a couple of coins. Nothing crazy, but my thought was, maybe parents dropping off their kids to meet up with their friends. They're hanging out here waiting for the ride or whatnot. They're sitting against the building, getting out of the sun, coins fall out of their pockets or so forth. Um, but now you can see these little blue markers, waypoints I've marked. And on my maps, I always put them as blue so I can see them. Um, but here is one of the theaters here. And there was a playground, grass area for kids to play. There was another theater here. I swear there was one over here as well. But now they have these buildings set up, which is like permanent swap meet type buildings. This is the original building, concession stand, and all that. So I've highlighted a couple of spots here, and I'll show you why. There's this one, which is a screen. This is a screen. This one's a screen. Over here is an old building. That's probably where all the employees worked, probably where they brought the cash from here over. This is a big grass area, and I've really never paid it much attention. And this is a major road here. And so if I go to this is GAIA, which is another app. I wish this was built into OnX, but it's not. And so I have these different map layers. And so I can come back to the 1900s and drag it over, and there's nothing there. So it doesn't show anything on the 1900s map in this area. So now I can turn this one off. I'll go to the 1930s, same thing. The 1960s, which is actually a compilation from the 1950s through the 1970s, now you can come in and start to see that something was here. So this is, if you kind of drag this over, this is pretty accurate right here where that screen is. This is real super accurate as far as where these buildings are currently. Across the street, you can see it's accurate. But see where the concession stand is now compared to where it used to be. So what I can do now, whoops, drag this over. I'm going to click right here. I'm going to grab my coordinates, go back to OnX, put those in here. And this looks like this would have been the spot for, let's see, add a waypoint. Again, I like that image, that color. Possible original concession stand. And that's probably where they beam the movie from as well. So now I have another place to go check out. Looks like I walked right past it too. And let's see, let's go back here. There's those original buildings. Let me go back to layers. So it looks like the entrance and the exit. Yeah, looks like the entrance used to be here, and there was the exit. And again, these maps are pretty accurate. So now I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to go to historical aerials, which I'm already there. You look at the 2021, and you can see, zoom out a little bit. There's a concession stand. There's one of the movie theaters. There's one of the theaters here. You can see the original one. What I wanted to do was go back. Let's go back to 1977. So there's a building there. That's probably the one I just marked. And actually it looks like that other building was still there as well. That's in 1977. But look, there's no other screens. It's just this one, as far as I can tell. It looks like the entrance was right here. So if I look at this, there's the original one. So the original entrance would have been right about here. This grass area here. But let's go back a little bit further. Let's go to 62. And now you can see that building's there with the original screen. And there's only the one theater. Let's go all the way back to 1943. There's nothing here except an original house right off the main road here. There's a building of some kind over here. It's actually a really big building. Let's see what that potentially is. There's a market. Water Conservancy. Okay, so nothing that makes sense. Just trying to see if it's like an old school or something. So let's go to 1950. Now they've built, so somewhere between the 43 and 50, they built the theater. You see the footprint is quite a bit smaller. The house is still there. They have the exit. They have the entrance. They have the one screen. They have the building here. And this is where all the cars would have circled around to see this. So now let's go up to 58 map. You really see this one, nice, crisp and clean. So you can see how they have it, the exit. They have this big area here, which is an open area, the original house, the entrance, and there's the building. So the building, I'm not sure where I thought it was, but there's two buildings here in the 58. There's 62, two buildings. Now what I found interesting here is this is the grass area. So you see the grass area here, which I've marked. You see these trees, but in the historical aerials, there's obviously, looks like a playground right here, which would make sense, you know. Back in the 60s or whatever, parents probably watching the theater or the movie or whatever, and, you know, kids are over here playing. There's one of them shows a little bit better, yeah, the 65. So you can see, to me, that looks like a playground right there. So if I look at the newer maps, it's all covered by trees. So this is the area I want to concentrate on. So I'm going to go there today. And I've been here. I just know they ripped up all the blacktop. If I have time, I may go over here. This is going to be my main area right through here. And then, let's see, I'm going to mark right about, let's look at this one. Well, now they've moved it up to here. So it looks like they've probably expanded. It looks like there's two lanes there. Let's go back to 62, still there. 58, it's further back. So I'd say it's probably 3/5 of the way to the screen. So if that screen's here, that's an open area. So right about here might have been, let's add a waypoint. Let's see, possible old entry. So I'll just save that. Just if I'm not having any luck, whoops. If I'm not having any luck at some of these other spots here, I'll definitely check this out. I'll check that out. That'll be easy because I can park. This is pretty good road right to about right here. That's a little bit of a height back here. And because it doesn't show until, let's see, let's go to 71. 71, let's go to 81. That looks like there's a big, well, let's see, zoomed in too much, no? Yeah, so, okay, on the 81, they have the other screen here. Actually, you can see there's a screen. Now they have 4 screens, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's go back to 77. So somewhere between 77 and 81, they added 3 extra screens. So again, definitely old, but not as old as some of the other areas. So I'm going to concentrate again on these. What I like about OnX and GAIA and all this is this all automatically just downloads to my phone. So I'll be able to know, this whole area. But I really want to concentrate here, and hopefully nobody else has detected this area yet. So hope that shows you guys a little bit how I do my research. Have a great day.